Hello guys, welcome to today's morning session, and we are going to be looking at the London session and the next possibilities or market opportunities that we have. As always, we are going to be talking about forex market opportunities and all what we have in the market today. Like, share, comment, and invite others to join us because it's going to be a very interesting one today. Like, share, comment, and invite others to join us, please. Like, share, and comment, invite others to join us. Like, share, comments, invite others to join us. We are going to start this live exactly immediately. We have 20 persons connected. Okay, good morning to you, Divine. Good morning, Robert. Good morning to you, Mr. Vilu. Vilu. Okay. Okay. George Free. Good morning to you, Sir Geoffrey. How we are all doing good. And today is going to be an interesting day, like all the days. So the market is actually getting full recovery after the non-farm payroll market movement. As you can see, we've been cramped in a lot of consolidation since Monday. As you can see, since Monday, we've had a very consolidative market. Reason being that the non-farm payroll affected the market very greatly. Et c'est pour cela que le marché n'a pas encore regagné sa volatilité et sa force. Le non-farm payroll a beaucoup exhausté le marché. Et lorsqu'on revient sur les analyses aujourd'hui, on se rend compte que le non-farm, le DXY, qui veut dire le dollar index, n'a pas encore pu Good morning, Daddy Paddy. Good morning, everyone watching. Good morning, Christian. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to today's morning session. Good morning to everyone. Okay, we are 20 already, so we can kickstart our market analytics. So before we push forward, I would like to go get a review on gold because gold was the last pair I gave you a lot of commentary on before we left the class yesterday. So This is exactly where gold was yesterday, and we are going to go back to the commentary on gold, and you guys are going to see how everything actually worked. So we started gold by actually mapping out what we call a daily high and low, and we're waiting for price to clear off either the daily high or the daily low. So the daily height of yesterday was cleared, and price went into that structure. As you can see here, this was the there was a range. So there was range between this candle here. So we are going to use what we had yesterday to explain this market in a deeper sense. So we had the height of that, the low of that candle, and we had the height of the candle where the range was actually walked in upon. So that is the two structure we got. Then feeding into a more detailed analytics, we went up to say that if the 4 hours chart of yesterday closes within the green trend line, then this market will not sell. That is exactly what I said before we left here yesterday. And you can see for yourself what happens at the end of the day was that the 4 hours candle, this 4 hours candle closes above the green line. That was a clear sign that the market was supposed to rather buy. So anybody that was looking for an aggressive sell is in trouble. You now see how this program can actually help a lot of traders stay out of trouble, a lot of traders stop losing money at the day end. Now, we then said, if this market closes within the green trend line, as we said yesterday, because the green trend line left from this base and it was a very good trend line. So we said trend line closing, if the market close or if the 4 hours candle closes above the green trend line that we had here, then definitely we should have this market goes bullish. And on the 4 hours chart, because the 4 hours is used as a more medium or average trend monitor. The 4 hours candle is very much important, and that's why we use the 4 hours candle to see true breakout and fake breakout. I'm not going to use the 1 hour candle. I'm not going to use the 30-minute candle. So if you want to look for true breakout in your market, you must use the 4 hours candle. So you now see, we told you guys that if this market breaks above here, the daily low range and the daily low high will be a target. What did I say before I left yesterday? I clearly stipulated if this low is being taken off, it means that the market will go up. Then I said again, if this high of the day is taken off, then the market is going to sell. Liquidity line on either side. Those are the guidance I gave you. Then you see for yourself that at the end of the day, what happened is that the market went up, touching our next target, because we say if the market gets back into this green line, the red line is our next target. Then I think it was someone said he's planning to sell gold at this red trend line. And we're like, okay, you selling gold at that red trend line is good, but we have the daily highs and the daily low, which liquidity is lying there. And as you could see, the market had to push, did a break and retest on this trend line, like if there's a push, wipe away the liquidity of the daily high. This is ça balaye cette liquidité et le marché revient et ça recasse cette structure et on a ce qu'on appelle le retracement. So we had a break and retest, and this was the best point to sell gold yesterday. So practically everything we are doing here is well coordinated. So this is the best setup that would have occurred, and that's how you could actually take advantage of this particular setup. Now, as we speak, right, gold is actually moving within this structure, and I can clearly say that there is a great chance that gold is going to sell to the low of this structure. So I'll be bearish for gold. and this is where my TP will be. So if I were to give you a setup on gold, then this is my setup. So we are going to be in a short-term bearish momentum for gold, and I can see someone like Roderick in the Bell Forex community have taken a sell on gold already. I think that is good as of my view. So let me know in the comment section what is your takes on this particular setup that we just did on gold. Please like, share, comment, invite others to join us. We are launching the September massive trading campaign where we are going to be educating thousands of people on how they could be profitable traders, being part of Bell Forex community. So I'm going to have a Zoom call with community members on how they could take advantage of this opportunity on what I want to do. I will be educating thousands of Cameroonians on how to trade Forex effectively without stressing themselves. And again, that will be absolutely free of charge. And this offer is going to be running for the month of September only. I'm going to give you headlights on how you could benefit on these advantages, how you can take advantage of that and become even more a profitable trader. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Thank you very much, Christine. I hope you're welcome, Joshua. You guys are welcome. Let's keep building. If we keep doing this every day, I believe a lot of people will know how to trade and trade effectively. I also encourage you to belong to the Bell Forex community. I also encourage each and every one of you. That's great. Nestor has been bearish on gold this morning. Bell Forex community is here, and I encourage all of you to belong to the Bell Forex community. For those who are not yet in the community, there is a link in the live description to join the program we are doing in September, so you can actually learn from us and learn from the best. These occur once a year. The Learn to Trade and Pay After program occurs once a year, and that is the chance for you, that is the opportunity for you to be part and parcel of this program, to be part and parcel of the next group of massive traders we are going to be trading. Thank you very much, Roger. Good morning, welcome on board. Okay, so I'll be picking one forex problem before we move to the next pair. We are not in a haste because there is no volume in the market this morning. We are waiting for the recovery of non-farm payroll and all of that. So please, I would like to pick up anyone that have or that wants to say something. If you have a problem that you want me to solve, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be able to talk about that before we push with the next analytics. Good morning, Simon, all watching from Facebook. Pierre Simon from Facebook. Good morning, Pierre. Nice to have you, or from YouTube. Good morning, Gillen, Tangwa. It's a pleasure having you again, Bara. Please, if you have any challenge you want us to talk about this morning, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be able to talk about that for you. Okay, I'll be picking one question, one query. Okay, the question is from Divine. Divine, are you there? So I'll be responding to your quest on drawing trend line You ask the question, if drawing a trend line, we consider the body of the candle or the wicks of the candle. This is a beautiful question because it's not just going to help you, but it will help a lot of people here learn on what I want to do. So the question from Divine is very important. You need to know how to draw your trend lines. You need to know exactly how this trend line is drawn. Trend line is a magical tool and give us a lot of accuracy if you know exactly what you are doing. So let me go to a pair and I'll show you. There are two ways of drawing trend lines. You can draw trend lines in two ways, either with the body of the candle or the wicks of the candle. I'm going to give you all the scenarios and what to consider. So when there is noise, we take the body of the candle. But when there is no noise, we take the wicks of the candle. So let's say in this regard, if I'm to draw a trend line here, let's say from here, it is this this candle here is clearly defined. There are not many candles there. I can see clearly the last high, the wick that is highest, or the wick that is lowest. There are not many wicks there. He's the only wick. So we are going to say this is a clean high. So when we are doing trend line mapping on a clean high, we just use the wicks of the candle. So these are clean highs that have been touched. Clean highs being touched. You see how this trend line works like magic. Tick, tick, a break, and retest on the trend line market move. Now, if I were to draw a trend line here, this is a clean low, clean low, so I can use this to draw my trend line. This is a clean low, two clean lows, so you can see how this other one works. So because the lows are clean, the wicks of those candles are quite clean, no noise around that area. Donc, il n'y a pas de distraction ici. Donc, les chandeliers, les mèches qui sont bien propres. Donc, on peut utiliser les mèches au cas qui sont propres. Mais entre-temps, on peut utiliser le corps de chandelier. Si on a beaucoup de mèches, on n'arrive pas à avoir quelque chose de bien clair. Je vais chercher et je vais vous montrer. Lorsque je vais trouver tel type de situation, je vais vous montrer. Okay, this is a situation where we have multiple candles in a particular high or particular low. Look at this. This is not a clean high, nor a clean low. You see that there are so many candles there that are actually giving you that high of that zone. So you are going to be confused on which high to take. In this regard, taking the body of the candle will be the best solution for you. So that is an example of a dirty high. And this is again another example of a dirty high where we don't have a clear candle that clearly determine the wicks. And this is an example of a clean low, clean low, clean. You don't that wick does not agree with any other one. This is a clean low. So in where we have noise, because we always call this noise, this one that you see, multiple wicks. So in forex, we refer to that as noise. So that will be noise. So when there is noise, we can go in for the body of the candle. Okay, guys, make sure you are part of the Bell Forex community. There's link in bio to join the Bell Forex community. There is a lot happening in our community that you need to be part of it. So That's it. I think that is good. That's great for this particular market, and I think we have a clear understanding of what Divine asked. So, Divine, I think you are okay. So, let me know in the comment section if I responded to you the way you wanted. So, I hope that is okay. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if that is okay. Okay, I would like to answer Jeffrey's question. He asked, he would like to know why the 4 hours chart is best to determine the trend. It is because the 4 hours chart has an overall of 4 1 hour candles and an accumulative of an average trend indication and helps you to eliminate market noise. The same way it is difficult for you to analyze and determine the trend on a 1 minute chart with a lot of noise, it's the same way the 1 hour chart cannot be the best tool for that. The 4 hours chart gives you more accumulation of data and an overall view of the market, giving you an advantage to clearly see the direction of the market from that average trend time frame. Um, Nestor asked, the early chart also reveals the head and shoulder pattern supporting our bearish bias on gold. That's beautiful from Nestor. Nestor is giving a commentary on gold, why bearish movement is can be possible. That is another additional confluence from Nestor, where he's saying that the 1 hour chart is giving us a head and shoulder pattern. So clicking to what he's saying, we can check it and see exactly what he's talking about. Nestor, I cannot see the head and shoulder pattern that clear, but if you are able to send us maybe a screenshot of that, then it will make some sense for us. Who again with Ayok, Mary, you're asking about entry confirmation. So when you talk about entry confirmation, you need to use signaling price action. There are price action that signals a bullish market and a bearish market. These price action could be the 6 bullish candlestick patterns or the 6 bearish candlesticks patterns. That must give you an idea that the market can buy or sell. And I explained in my last slide that a trade idea is not a setup. A setup is not a trade idea. A trade is not a trade idea, and a trade is only taken after a setup has been validated. What do I mean? Let me explain myself. So let's assume this is where you need to start solving your problem of entry. Let's assume that we have a key resistance that the market is targeting at that price level. And you identify and say that market is going to go to this resistance. Let me put the color as red. That is your analytics. It stipulates market is going to go to the red resistance. This is a trade idea. It is not a setup. So when the market will move up, when the market is going to move up to the red zone, your trade idea will now become a setup. When your trade idea becomes a setup, it doesn't mean you should enter a trade here. When a trade gets here, for example, then changes direction and you have a confirmation of directional change, the setup now becomes a trade. Now, it means that you can now trade to the downside after your setup, after your idea became a setup and your setup became validated. Now you now have a confirmation that your setup can now give you a sell trade. So what do? We now look for an entry in the trade. So you now look for an entry in the trade and you realize that you are going to be trading more effectively. This is a mere example of what we are explaining. Yesterday, we had the height and the low of this market, and we said either the low and the high is going to be cleared off to snatch away liquidity. That was a trading idea. So market left from this low, went right up here and took up the high. Our trading idea became a setup. So for us to take a sell in this market, we don't need to aggressively take a sell. But we now saw how the market cleared that liquidity, then came back into this zone. Now, putting up the 4 hours chart, you guys are going to notice something on the 4 hours chart. The 4 hours chart, which is used to confirm true breaks, clearly shows that this market did not settle above this low, showing us clearly that it was just a mitigation. Market closes below the high, showing us a strong rejection and the fact that this market is going to sell. That is a reversal confirmation that you get. So now after getting a reversal confirmation, your setup is now validated and a sell trade can be generated. Now, this particular structure that was broken here was actually a support structure, is now becoming, it was a resistance. So market has break tick back and market did a break and retest of that structure. So your entry technique could have been based on a break and retest because one, this is where you're supposed to have entered a trade after this break and retest. Because one, the idea became a setup, the setup got validated and a break and retest technique was given. Anybody who took this trade here lose zero money. I mean lose zero money. So many problem that we're having today is because our problem is knowledge based. Probably we don't have adequate knowledge on what we are doing or we were not taught appropriately. And that is why I'm recommending and I'm saying that you should do everything possible to join the Bell Forex community. There is a link in the live description which you can click to join our WhatsApp group because we want to offer you a full training in September where we'll teach you from the basics to advance and our strategy. Anybody's taking this program is going to say bye-bye to losses in the next 90 days. Believe me, you also have to share this program to as many people as possible. We are not charging anybody anything. Last year, we organized a program like this, which was called the Learn to Trade and Pay After Profitability. This year, we are launching that program. That program is done once in a year. So this year again, we are launching the Learn to Trade and Pay After program. And you can take advantage of this. You can share to your friends, let them take advantage of this. I'm going to teach you the way I teach my VIPs. After this, you are going to join my VIP community. This is an opportunity for you to join Bell Forex, to join our profitable Forex trading community absolutely for free. We've had a lot of questions already, and we are going to be going straight to on our chat to check at the Bitcoin chat or GJ before we continue with questions. So let's go with GBP Japanese yen. Why are we going to GBP Japanese yen? This is one of the analytics we did yesterday, and that is the main reason I am actually coming to this chart all again. So this market was in a crucial consolidation. I can't see the analytics we did yesterday. I don't know why it got deleted, but we did a good analytics on this chart yesterday, and we might be forced again to do this analytics all through again. So this is what we had yesterday. After the liberation on this particular pair, we had a lot of understanding about the price action. We said that GJ was actually consolidating. So GJ was in a consolidative mode. So It was moving between this support and between this resistance. That's what GJ was doing. So between this support and this resistance. So now what we saw here is that the market has been actually moving since August 2024, and that means for the past 1 year, GJ has been consolidating between this key low and key high, and it has been a market directive for GJ. Looking at also the directional volume flow, we saw that when GJ is going to the downside, the volume flow is bigger as compared to when it's going to the upside. We now got these analytics clear, and from here we were able to actually grab the trend that was going to the upside, and we said we had this market dynamics. This was more of a trend line, and we consider the most touch zones here. This trend line has given us a break and retest, showing us or giving us a market sentiment that GJ can be a sell. Please, if you are watching, like, share, comment, give this program some heart. Let people understand that we are doing this every day so that they can join us in this profitable trading journey. Now, we have a break and retest of that structure, and we are looking for a sell on GJ. Based on what we were expecting yesterday, we now captured GJ in response to the current market movement, and we're to do some analytics here on GJ. So I had to blur off this guy to remove or to reduce the intensity, even though we know a trend line is passing there. We came to our interest wave. Our interest wave is a wave that gives us the current market movement. And after we got our interest wave, it was necessary for us to break down the chart into a more smaller picture to get this market in a more detailed manner. From the 9 hours chart, we could actually map up our low and highs of this market to give a sense of structural mapping and understand the pro wave and the impulses. We have a high there, and here, right here, we had a low from this structure. Now, this low did not got never got broken effectively. So this low was not broken effectively because price did not really settle below the low. So this means that the after this low was taken off, the next high was here. So that low, the only time the low was taken off was right here. So this is the next low of the market. So we've seen the current market phase. We just ended up a pro trend, all an impulse. So we are now waiting for a correction. And we were looking for a correction to mitigate within this huge fair value gap that we had here. So there is a huge fair value gap here, and we are going to pin down our point of interest to identify if we have other PUI within this structure. We're looking forward to say that GJ can actually get back here before a continuation. This is the step we took to come up with what we did yesterday on GJ. Please, so far on the analytic of GJ, if you have any question on this or if you are worried about anything about this, please you can drop your worries in the comment section before I continue with GJ. Okay, if you have no worries on this, then we can continue. If you analyze the market at the 4 hours time frame, you can use the 5 minutes and the 1 minute or even the 15 minutes to take your trade. So going back to GJ, this was our expectation on GJ, and this is what the market has been forming so far. We saw a stiff resistance from this structure, and GJ has been consolidating. We all understand that consolidation is a continuation pattern. So moving to a smaller picture, this is the consolidation we have for GJ. GJ is consolidating within these structures, and it's always good to get our consolidation highs and our consolidation lows because it helps us to have an idea of what is happening. So here is our consolidation low, and here is our consolidation high. So currently GJ is in a low volume market display, and anything you try here will not be profiting to you. So what are my expectations? My expectation is that after this consolidation, I should have a break to the upside to revisit my POI or my point of interest, which is a fair value gap. Within the POI, we could refine our analytics to get an exact point of entry. So when we were refining the huge fair value gap, we said that on GJ, on the 30-minute time frame, we had a drop-based drop that formed a more refined structure within GJ. And that's where most of the volume was injected based on our yesterday analytics. In this regard, we'll be waiting for GJ to go mitigate that price level, which will be the best setup as far as GJ is concerned. So that is what we did on GP Japanese yen yesterday, and we are still waiting for that to play out. So that is all for GJ, and we are going to be taking the next pair, which is definitely going to be the dollar index. So the dollar index is very important to you and I, and we are only going to go to a pair like AUD and GBUSD if we have the dollar index move right there. So as of yesterday analytics, we had in conclusion that GJ that the dollar index has been moving inside this price level. I'll first of all shine it a little bit to the higher time frame and give you what we were thinking. We were bullish on the dollar index because the market break this trend line. As you see, the market has broken this particular trend line, and there has been a mitigation, like a break and retest of that trend line. So we were waiting for a bullish momentum for the dollar index. In that regard, we saw the market having a perfect break retest, and we were looking forward for the continuation of the particular current movement we are having. Remembering so well that the market is actually getting a recovery from non-farm payroll. And also, another thing we want you to understand is that the dollar index has been consolidating, and consolidation is a continuation pattern. And also, there was a fair value gap on the DXY from the daily time frame, as you can see here. We were looking forward to see that the dollar index get here and mitigate the structure and take a rally to the upside. This is one of the expectations that we have been waiting for so far. In this regard, we scroll down to a smaller time frame and we see this market in a perfect consolidation, as you can see. The market has been consolidating between these structures, and we are looking forward to see a market that is going to get a continuation movement to the downside, as perhaps there will be a mitigation inside this fair value gap and the market can move to the upside. So far, so good. There is no volume break yet on the DXY, meaning that there is no significant market movement on Euro USD or on GBP USD. So we still remain with a low volume market on that particular setups, and it's necessary for you and I to consider this particular setup that we just did right now. I believe this is so efficient, and a lot of people will take advantage of this setup. In that sense, we have nothing to do with Euro USD and GP USD this morning because it's a reflection of the DXY, and we need to see the DXY move from there for us to consider what we're supposed to do. Yes, we use SMC in our strategy, which is called the BTMM strategy, which is actually focused on SMC and it helps a lot. This is liquidity. Smart money is all about that, and you're going to learn a lot about what we do. Just get There is a link in the live description for you to join our WhatsApp channel and be part of our September training where we are going to teach you Forex from the basics to advanced level absolutely for free of charge. It's going to be an amazing session, and believe me, you are not going to regret being part of the Bell Forex community. Please like, share, invite others to join the program. It is going to be an amazing time for all of us. So, guys, please with this regard, we are going to actually take one more question before we move to the Bitcoin chart and give an overview of what we think the crypto market is going to be looking at in the next couple of days. Please drop your problem in the comment section and I'll be able to respond to them and we can move from there. Now, we like to know how the indices, the DXY and or the JPY basket influences the forex market. Okay, Judge free. This is what you need to understand. Please do well to also join the WhatsApp channel, the WhatsApp link in the live description, Jeffrey. Make sure you are part of our community because it's going to be a great support to you. The question goes thus: the DXY, which means the dollar index, it measures the strength of the US dollars against a basket of currencies. There are about seven of them. So it will tell you if the dollar is strong, if the dollar is weak in response to those currencies. So if the dollar index is strong, or if it is buying, it means the US dollar is strong in relative to GBP, Japanese yen, etc. And it gives you an idea of the strength and know if you were to buy or sell all the other pairs. For example, we are on the dollar index as we speak now. The dollar index has been selling, that is from Friday afternoon from payroll. We had a weak dollars. So the weak dollars mean a lot after the non-farm payroll. It means that the dollar is weak in relative to other assets. In this regard, a currency pair like Euro USD is supposed to be buying because the dollar is weak and Euro will be stronger. So in during the non-farm payroll, you're going to notice that Euro was buying instead because the dollar is weak. GBP USD will be buying instead because the dollar is weak. So it helps us to know. So currently now we just did an analytic of the dollar index. If the dollar index is consolidating Hello, 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 hello. I think the sound is okay now. I think the sound is okay now. I think the sound is okay now. So we are going to go back to the analytics of. Please let me know if the sound is okay now. Hello, 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 hello. It come with retardation. Do you listen to yourself? Okay, so as I was saying before we had the sound challenge, we had this fair value gap that Bitcoin mitigated into before the last rally. We're also going to have again, we now see again another fair value gap here where Bitcoin actually mitigated into again for the second time. This is one of the reasons we're looking bullish on Bitcoin. Secondly, there was a trend line on Bitcoin that served as liquidity generation. This was a trend line. So this trend line served for liquidity generation, and market had to click below it to the fair value gap, and this actually served as more of a channel market movement for the Bitcoin price. This is a channel, as you can see here. This is a channel. So I'm giving you every single reasons why I said yesterday bullish for Bitcoin. Now we move from the daily time frame. The yesterday daily candle came struggling to break below it, but ended up closing above it. That was a perfect rejection from that black line and a perfect mitigation already from the fair value gap. From this price level, you can now see that on 9 hours chart, we have the 9 hours candle that was also close above the black line, and a bullish sentiment has already been generated from the market. So if you ask me what we should do, then I'm going to say that I am bullish for Bitcoin. I can definitely tell you that this is the best setup I can get for Bitcoin so far. So my stop loss is right down here, and my TP is at this black line here. So that is one of the best setup I can get for Bitcoin. You need to know that Bitcoin pips are quite high. So when you are trading Bitcoin, you need to use a smaller lot size. So be careful when trading Bitcoin. You need to enter with small lot sizes and do not over leverage. You can also take the market to a smaller time frame to be able to refine what is going on so you can get the best of the best of the best. So let's say we go down to the 15-minute time frame. So why are we going on the 15-minute time frame? Is because we want to have as much accuracy as possible. For example, anybody that got the break and retest of this black trend line from here would have gotten a more accurate trade on Bitcoin. You guys see a break retest, accurate trade. The stop loss would have been very minimal from this price level. So I can also come here on the smaller time frame, and I try to use one or two tools to be able to see what's going on. So on this smaller time frame, there is a trend line that is passing from here. I match this price level to this other price level. This is a trend line. This trend line can be of help to you. So what are you expecting from here to have a more accurate entry for Bitcoin? You can wait for a break and retest above this trend line to give you a perfect trigger. Break retest. So during the retest now, you get into your trade. This will give you a more reliable trigger, and I bet you are going to enjoy your trade even more better. So this will make a lot of sense for those who are going to be trading from that particular price level. So you need to get that into your mind and then keep that. This will be one of the best trigger for a bullish BTC. I've given you every reason why Bitcoin is bullish, and we've shown you without any lags what you should be expecting for Bitcoin. So we've done 1 hour of session this morning, and I think that this is an excellent one for us this morning. We've learned a lot, and I think that this is a great session. We've been able to touch one or two pairs where it's going to give you a lot.
Thank you very much for your time for this morning session. We are going to be meeting in the afternoon. Definitely, we should be having volume for the DXY and see the opportunity we have for the market in the afternoon. Make sure you don't miss the opportunity. Nice to be here with you and see you again in the afternoon. Do not forget there is a link in the live description to join our WhatsApp channel if you want to learn how to trade again from September. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.